are heard. Speak harmony where knowledge meets community.
Welcome to another episode of the Speak Harmony podcast right here in APAT Media in Stone Mountain, Georgia. We're live on YouTube each and every Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. We would like to thank our wonderful, amazing, outstanding, and all of the adjectives, APAT Media, a photo and production full-service media company specializing in podcasting, multi-camera recording, video and live streaming services, and many, many more. You may contact APAT Media at 470-657-1998. That's 470-657-1998. Or you may email APAP at info@apapmedia.com. That's APAP Media, info@apapmedia.com. Guys, I'm Sharon Thompson, and I am thankful, I'm grateful to be here another day. How about you?
Oh, I'm absolutely very, very grateful. You know, life, as they say, be lifing for all of us.
Yes.
I hope that the Speak Harmony family is doing well. We are excited to bring you a news show. But, of course, we like to check in and see if there was anything interesting over the weekend.
Well, you know, they have the closing, the final games, you know, the FIFA World Cup and all that good stuff.
Right.
And I didn't have a horse in the race, but I was happy at the outcome. I really was. I really was. And especially for Lamar. I mean, I celebrate him and the love and the, you know, the harmony between him and his mom and his little brother and that brotherly love. I mean, oh my God, he's amazing. And so I celebrate them. So big ups.
Big ups, yeah. So there was a lot of controversy over the two last teams there. But we'll move on from that.
Oh yeah.
Because there could be a lot said about that. I spent the weekend as well watching the games and preparing for the following week. So we do have, as you know, I always bring what's going on, the national day or the national week or month. And this time I'm going to be talking about the national day, which is tomorrow, is National Brain Day. With over 3.4 billion people, more than 40% of the global population live with neurological conditions. And so this time it is really want folks to focus on equity, you know, ensuring that brain health is accessible regardless of geography, income, and background. And of course, early intervention, prioritizing faster diagnosis to prevent the disability. And of course, local access, and you know the type of demographics that don't get access to brain health. So this day is, tomorrow, July 22nd, is really about turning neurological awareness into measurable policies and healthcare improvements. And so we know that taking care of the brain is just as important as, you know, my thing, taking care of the heart, because the brain and the heart are connected and work together. And we know so many have that Alzheimer's, dementia, mental illness, and the like. So really learning how to feed your brain is key.
And being able to identify, you know, when people are, because if someone's forgetting a lot of stuff, it's not that they're wanting to. I mean, we have to be able to pick up on that and address it. And, you know, just don't brush it to the side. Because, you know, if we have elderly people, and it's not really, honestly, about only the elderly per se. It's about everyone. I mean, it starts at different ages. I mean, you know, diseases affect people at different ages. And so we have to be able to be mindful. If someone's forgetting a lot, you know, they may be overloaded. So we understand that. Because a lot of us are carrying a whole lot.
So much,
on our plates. But there's something to be said. If someone's missing, you know, a beat, I mean, every time you turn around, they're missing a lot. Check up on them.
They need to be checked.
Check on them.
Absolutely. And
people are in denial, by the way. Because when you say that, they're like, what do you think?
What they do is old age. You know, how our people are.
Or they'll get offended too. There are people who, when you say, I noticed that you're forgetting a lot.
Oh, you're telling the same story over and over.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, they kind of get offended if you say it to someone. They're like, what do you mean? So you have to be able to address it in such a palatable way to say, hey, I noticed this.
Yeah.
You probably want to check it out, in a nice way because,
Yeah, and attention deficit is becoming more and more prevalent these days as well. So really getting the assessments. Yeah.
Yeah, we're juggling a lot.
Yeah.
Life, we're just juggling a lot.
And so one of the key preventions for that, Sharon, is definitely cardiovascular, getting the oxygen to the brain, right? And prioritizing, which most people are not doing, and I'm guilty of that myself, prioritizing sleep.
Yes.
That really helps to manage disorders. I don't know, we're all guilty here, the sleep component here.
Yes.
All right, moving on to something a little more pleasant. The king of fruits. What's the king of fruits, Sharon?
The king of fruits. I would say mango or papaya.
Absolutely.
Because the king of fruits, a lot of people don't like it, but I love it.
It's so versatile.
No, I'm saying mango.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, for me, I like papaya.
Oh, I love papaya.
I mean, a good one.
Yes.
A real good, authentic, island papaya.
Oh my gosh. I live for it. I have one on my table right now getting ready to write.
Mean, the ones that we get here okay. The ones from, man.
Yes, any of the islands is just
sit and eat
delicious.
It. You
yes,
sit and eat
right.
Stuff like, and especially for me, if it's chilled.
Yes.
And you just scoop it and eat.
All right, now.
And it's really good for you. But mangoes.
Even the seeds are very good for you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Very good. I mean, I was just telling someone about that yesterday.
And it's good for the enzymes as well, the digestive system.
Course.
Yeah.
Campaign,
that's right.
All
right, look at us educating you all. The king of fruits, Sharon was right. It is National Mango Day.
They just had a festival down in South Florida.
Really?
Mango festival. My friend called me and said, Sharon, I'm eating Bombay and this. I said, what?
Oh, God.
Are you telling me that? So, mango. Love mango.
Yeah, because they call it the tropical superfood because it has the nutritional benefits and so versatile. Green, a lot of Latinos eat it green and a chutney.
People. Yes, a lot of Caribbean folks.
Yeah. So before we finish this segment, I would like to bring awareness because I hadn't heard of this. And it's National Fragile X Awareness Day. And it's called FXS. And it's the most common inherited cause of intellectual disabilities, which one of them is autism. And so the whole entire month of July is to recognize Fragile X Awareness Month and definitely talking about funding and more research and advanced education and support those families who have those intellectual disabilities. And so it's similar to what we were talking about, the ADHD and other types. So this is very new to me. So I hope some of our audience gets to check it out. Again, that's National Fragile X Awareness Day. Yeah.
Thank you for
that. It's an intellectual disability.
Wow.
So that's it.
Yes.
But we don't have someone who has the FXS. She has been here before. We welcome her back.
She is amazing.
Absolutely.
She's amazing. It's the Dr. Tiphanie Ivey, the founder and principal of consultant of the University Compliance Solution, an organization dedicated to guiding institutions through critical accreditation compliance and assessment initiatives. With over a decade.
A decade.
Yeah, right. Over a decade of experience leading high-stakes compliance efforts, navigating complex challenges, and building high-performing teams.
Right.
Dr. Ivey is known for her ability to turn complexity into clarity.
All right. This is what
let me tell you, sister here, I always say she packs a lot of punches, but let me tell you, her leadership journey includes pivotal roles as an associate academic dean. And let me say that again, as an associate academic dean, you heard it right, and high school principal, where she championed collaborative, equity-centered approaches to organizational improvement. At the heart of her coaching and training philosophy is a commitment to making systems work for people. She blends practicality, best practices, and human connection to foster environments where innovation and accountability thrives. So, Dr. Ivey also serves as a board member of DC Purple and White, Inc., an alumni organization supporting a DeCarteret College in Jamaica. So it's DeCarteret College. So when I started reading that part, I said, no, it's not again. You know where I went? And if you know that.
No.
Purple and White?
Oh, you did?
Kingston College. But I know the others.
Oh, that's right. That's right. How could I forget?
So when I said, I was like, oh,
How
Lord,
could I forget?
She's a female, so I know it wasn't.
She's
I
a
know
good
it was
old girl.
College. So yeah, and this is in Jamaica.
Yeah.
So in this role, she collaborates with fellow alumni to identify and address institutional needs, and outside of her professional and philanthropic work, and that she does a lot because she's a a soccer mom. Her children are very active, from spelling bee, participants to her children her family stays busy. Because then her husband is a whole different, entity unto himself. Shout out to Julian and the crew. So outside of her professional and philanthropic work, Tiphanie is a passionate dancer, an avid reader, music lover, and wellness enthusiast who enjoys long walks, weightlifting. She finds joy in movement, rhythm, and reflection, elements that mirror her approach to leadership. She's the proud wife of Julian Ivey, devoted mother to Chadwick, Matthew, and Sarah. Sarah is no stranger to the studio because Sarah's been in here because she's an author.
That's right. It was all about her that time.
Oh yes. My God, yes. So her daily lead, let's say this, who she inspires, and her daily lead, she leads daily with purpose, with a heart of purpose, and she's just driven to help people. Yeah. We want to welcome you to the Speak Harmony family at APAT Media, Sister Dr. Ivey. Howdy, howdy.
For having me.
Absolutely, so your sun-kissed self. Making me all angry right now.
I know, looking at that beautiful skin.
Oh, she just coming from
So it sounds like
Jamaica.
You just came back from home.
I did.
From the yard. Can you imagine?
Everything.
Oh, we don't need to hear that.
Oh, good.
Eating all the breadfruit and the
And the mangoes.
I'm going to rub that in a little bit. Oh, yes, the mangoes.
And the mangoes.
Were amazing.
Stop it. Mr. P, can you plug her microphone when she talk about mango over there? Wow. So, Dr. Ivey.
Yes.
Is there a teacher, a mentor, someone in your upbringing that inspired you? And I know there may be more than one that inspired you to be so driven to be where you are today and still going, because you're just getting started, it seems.
There are many.
Yes.
And I could list so many. I was blessed to have amazing teachers. DeCarteret College had some really good teachers, Dr. Walker, Mr. McLeod, Mrs. Tomlinson, Miss Cumberbatch, Mr. West. I could go on and name them.
You didn't name one. You didn't name one. You may be tuned in.
Dr. Minot, my college coach, but my parents, my mom and my dad. But I would say my biggest teachers have been my children. Because I awakened to reality when I had my first child. Wow. Things started to make sense. And I got myself together, I should say, when I had him. And as I've had my other two children, all three of them teach me about myself because I see myself in them.
Yeah.
And kids don't do what you tell them to do. They do what you do.
See you do.
And so I see a mirror in them.
Yeah.
And that teaches me, that pushes me, that inspires me to grow because I want to be the best version of me so that they can be better versions of themselves.
And you're setting the example.
Yes.
Absolutely. I'm with you there. Children, whether it's your own or not, they teach you so much about who you are and teaching you to listen and to be patient. They have the wise mind. Trust me, they do.
And you're the first book, though. You're the first book. I tell this to parents all the time. I'm not a biological parent myself, but it means nothing because I've got, nieces and nephews and godchildren and other people's children, your children that I've, sort of interact with all these years. And so it takes a special kind of person because you are the book that they read.
Yep.
And they will tell you in a heartbeat, but you did it.
It's right there on this page.
And they're right, though. So we have to give them that.
Go to the new chapter.
Yeah.
I love that, Sharon. You are the book that they read.
Yeah, you are. So be careful what you're sharing with them.
Yeah.
You're displaying because they see everything. They don't miss a beat.
They don't.
Yeah.
They really don't.
I love it though.
So what? So kudos to it's always good to have good teachers and good mentors to inspire you.
She forgot one, and I'm gonna.
She's
I'm
still
help,
trying to.
I'm gonna help her out because you know what? He lives all the way, tons of miles from here.
Okay.
And she kind
what's the name? We got to shout him out.
And she kind of,
Mr. Christie.
Mr. Christie. All right. Bigs up.
Lennox Christie, who's my first cousin.
Okay. So that's why she was like, you gotta remember.
No. There's an encounter that she needs to tell us about.
No, we won't.
What subject did he teach?
He taught the sciences.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's his thing.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll move right along from that.
We'll talk about that off the air.
So talking about having children teaching you so much. I believe when you have multiple children, you also learn the art of organization, right? And having to have a system put in place, right? So tell us a little bit about what inspired you to start the University Compliance Solution. Because you deal with a lot of organizational and systems. Tell us how that came into play.
I wish I could tell you that there was some magical inspiration, but the University Compliance Solution was born because I was complaining to my husband about something I was experiencing. And it was something I was continuously experiencing. And I'm like, why does this keep happening? I need to do this. And he said to me, you're experiencing this repeatedly because you're not meant to work for someone else. And he said, why don't you do what you do for these institutions as a business? And I shut it down. I said, nobody's going to pay me to do that. And so I wasn't satisfied with his response. So I called my dad and I was saying the same thing to him. And he says, you're not meant to work for people. Your personality is not built to work for someone. And I wasn't happy with what he said. And then he said to me that working for someone he said, think of it as a cow on a rope. You can only go where the rope lets you go. But when you work for yourself, the rope is gone. You can eat grass wherever you want to.
Very nice. Nice analogy.
I like that analogy.
To kind of pacify both of them, I started my company in 2022, but I just let it sit. A year and a half in, Julian, my husband, comes to me and he says, listen, if you don't do something with the business, the IRS is going to think of it as a hobby, and you can't keep putting it on your taxes. And I said, okay, fine. I'm going to register for a conference, and when I go to the conference, I'm going to show you that nobody is going to pay me to do this. And then that's going to show you that this is not going to work. So we did all the things. We got ready for the conference. I went to the Small Business Development Center, found out what I needed to do to prepare for a conference. But I still didn't do anything to prepare for the conference by way of printing pamphlets or anything. So we get to the conference in Orlando, and I walk into the room, and I'm like, oh, I am so unprepared. There are all these fancy banners, lights, everything, like it's just... just colorful and beautiful. So I said to him, okay, I'm like, let's go to FedEx. And we go to FedEx and we just do something on Canva and we print out this sign, we print out some pamphlets, get there. We have nothing to hold the sign up except the nappy pins, those clip-on pins. And so I still have the picture of us hanging that sign with nappy pins.
Oh my gosh.
But the beauty of it is that even though we had probably we had the worst display there. I mean, it couldn't get any worse than what we had. I landed 2 clients big enough for me to resign my full-time.
Look at that. What a fantastic story.
I love it.
So, it wasn't so much about the how beautiful the banners are and all the different, it was the value that you were giving.
Yes.
And maybe the pins, the nappy pins, were symbology.
Piece, right?
It was a symbol of holding things together.
Together, yes.
Yeah, so I love it in all that. That's what it said.
Yes.
All right.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Wow. So what does leadership really mean to you today compared to 10 years ago?
Leadership has changed for me. When I got my first leadership role, I felt like I had to know everything. I felt like I had to be the smartest person in the room. I felt like I had to do everything. I felt like I had to be the one telling everyone, correcting everyone. As I've grown and evolved, I realized that being a leader is not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about knowing how to take all the talents that you have and allowing them to work for the organization. It's being humble enough to learn from people. It's being open enough to hear what people have to say. And it's being willing to create a shared picture for an organization versus it just looking like what I want. Because everyone in that organization comes with their own perspectives, they come with their own experiences, and those things together weave a very beautiful fabric when you allow it to happen.
Absolutely.
And so for me, leadership now means humility, it means support, it means serving my team.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
those
also-
are the words. Those are the
Absolutely.
words. So, I'm big on humility, right? Because,
Yeah.
I mean, this whole thing about I, me, myself, and I know everything. I don't come from that school at all.
Yeah.
It's like I am the person who is just chilled and I want to learn. From everyone around. I don't care how old you are or how young you are. I want to learn. I want to absorb. And I'm not afraid to ask questions anymore because, honestly, you don't know everything. And so, like you said, you weave everyone together with all their expertise and you just bring it together. You just form that big, you know, I mean, what do you call that? The, what do you call that thing? You know what I'm talking about, that blanket. That,
Yes.
Security.
No, it's that thing that they do with the goodness
quilts.
gracious. The quilts.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank
the
you.
quilts.
The quilts.
Yes.
The quilts. A little bit of this and a little bit of that, and you just put everything together in a big gumbo.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I like that. So humility is fine buzzword.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You've got to be humble enough to learn.
exactly.
You do.
And also, part of leadership, would you say that I've learned from great leaders the power to delegate?
Yes.
To
That is
know your
important.
staff, know your team, and recognize their strengths, because your team makes the leader look good. It's not the leader
Yes.
making themselves look good.
That is so true. That is something that I struggled with because like I said before, I felt like I had to do everything.
Yeah.
And no, there are other people who can do it better than you can. Yeah.
And a lot of them leaders say, instead of I did this and I as the leader, is we.
Oh yeah, there's no
So,
there's no I in team.
None.
Yeah.
None.
And so a lot of people at the top, who they feel it's if I don't do it, it doesn't get done.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of
That's what
attitude that
she-
you
yeah,
thought you were
yeah.
thinking that, and it's not that you were thinking they are not capable. It's just that you want to make sure, and it's not the perfectionist syndrome per se, because a lot of times people say that, and I tend to be a little bit like that in a way, just in a way where I believe in you, but I want to make it, if this is what it should look like, then I don't want to half step.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. Because some people just go, oh, we're baking a cake, throw this in and throw that in and throw, but we want to make sure it's at least there's discipline, there's uniformity.
Yes.
Because there's that piece, as well. So, I understand that part, but so how would you say to build trust in a team? What does that look like to you?
Building trust comes with getting to know people and allowing people to see you. It's very easy to be guarded. It's very easy to put walls up.
Yeah.
But people won't trust you if they don't know you. And if they don't feel you're genuine, they will know too.
Yeah.
And so one of my things is always to ask about people. Like there was one person I was working with, and he was telling me about his wife His wife is from Trinidad, and he was telling me he wanted to find a place to get some good curry for her. And I recommended a spot. And so the next time I saw him, I said, hey, how is such and such? And I called his wife by name, and I said, did she like the curry? And he looked at me, he's like, you remembered? I'm like, of course I did. I want to know if the curry was good. And he laughed, and it meant something to him because I cared enough to ask. And I genuinely did want to know. And so it turned into him asking me, how's your family? How's your son? How's your husband? You know, how are your kids? And so you build a relationship, and people will trust you.
It's absolutely
if
true.
they feel that you genuinely care, because they can see through it when you don't.
It's true.
What's that saying? It says they don't care how much you do, but they, you know, in other words, it's about how much you care. I mean, I forget that saying right now. It's escaping me, but it's not about what you do. It's just to show that you care. You genuinely care.
I recently encountered that on Monday. I had a student come to me. I was doing some first aid training, and she came all stiff and looking sad. And I said, wow, you look real serious. She said, yeah, I'm serious. I said, okay. And so if I took her lead, I just went I started the lesson, started the video, and then I turned it off and I said, so hey, tell me a little bit about yourself, and smiled and started talking, just having that conversation and building that relationship. And so when I saw her relax and begin to smile is when we started the lesson. And by the time we finished, she hugged me. She said, oh, this was so good. Thank you so much. So it makes a big difference on, like you were saying, building that relationship. But that being said, how do you lead through resistance, especially when you're dealing with these organizations and changing up systems? How do you deal with the resistance to change?
First thing, I don't take it personally.
That part.
Because
wow.
when I walk into an organization, I'm walking in there because something's wrong. And once something is wrong in higher ed, people are defensive. These are people who went to top schools and they have PhDs and other terminal degrees. And the last thing they want to hear is someone saying, you got this wrong. And so I don't take anything personally. That's the first thing I tell myself. When I see some emails come through, I say, don't take it personally. And then I respond with kindness and say, you know, I was just trying to understand. How can you help me understand? I noticed this, but I'm not sure. Would you mind if we got on a call and talk this through? And that tone allows them to come into the call with shoulders just a little bit down. And I will say, walk me through this experience. What are some of the things you did here? And then I will ask them, so why did you do that? Why did you do it that way? What's your rationale? And I have them explain it to me. And then I don't correct them at that point. I just write things in my report and I thank them. I say, thank you so much. This was really helpful. Is it okay if I reach back out to you if I have more questions? More often than not, they'll say yes. I do have some people who are just like, no. And I say, that's fine, no problem. And I find alternate ways to communicate with them. But in my reports and my responses to the institution, I always start with, it's normal for an institution of your size or your stage to have this issue. This is not abnormal. This is not a reflection of the quality of your employees. Or I may say, I noticed that this employee was struggling in this area. Is it okay with you if I schedule some time to train them on this? And so I'll do that, and I'll take that extra step and I'll train that person. I'll also write a process for them, and I'll say, hey, let me give you a little cheat sheet. Use this checklist. And I'll do that, and I'll say, you know, this is just for you, to help you to make sure that you know how to do it. And that helps. That allows people to realize I'm not coming there to tell you you don't know anything. I'm coming here to help you. I'm not coming to catch you. I'm not coming to say you were wrong. I'm coming to help you because I see you need support and I can offer help.
That's right.
I like that word, support. Because when you come in, when someone has done something that is incorrect, let's just say, instead of coming to them
Yeah.
in an accusatory manner.
Yeah.
I like your approach because, you know, tonality is everything for me.
Yeah.
It is.
You know, someone can say, well, what did you do? And someone can say, hey, what was that? You know, I mean, you're asking the same question, but in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And so the wall is not up. You know what I'm saying? So I like your approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. I really do. I really do. So I'm gonna use some of what you've said and you've shared.
Okay.
How would you say? I mean, the most difficult leadership lesson you have learned. I mean, what qualities, better yet, separate great leaders from good leaders?
So good leaders, they know how to organize tasks, set up systems, put things in place. But great leaders recognize the people.
Say that again.
Wow.
Great leaders
Look
recognize.
in that microphone, that camera over there, please, and repeat that because people need to hear that.
Great leaders recognize the people. Systems are nothing without people. Frameworks are nothing without people. Concepts are nothing without people. And so if you forget the people, you can have the best systems in the world.
But if they don't know how to work it.
If they don't know how to work it, and if they don't feel supported, if they don't feel cared for, if they don't feel heard, if they feel dismissed, if they feel like just a number, if they feel like you don't care about them, you only care about the bottom line, you're not getting the best from that person. And so you have to see people to be able to lead in a great way.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna take a break, but when we get back, we're gonna get back on that, just that little piece that you just left us with, because AI, guys, AI. That's all I'm gonna leave you with. We're gonna go to a break, and when we return, we've got to dig a little deeper because I'm hearing you, Doc. I'm hearing you. I really am.
Stay tuned for the events.
Stay tuned. Yes, yes, yes.
This episode is brought to you by our sponsor, APAP Media Group. APAP Media Group is a full-service creative video and photo production company specializing in podcasting, multi-camera recording, and live streaming. Contact them by email at info@apapmedia.com. That's info@apapmedia.com. Thank you to our sponsor, APAP Media Group.
Welcome back. We've got, a very busy next few weekends, right, coming up. So we've got Push Ministries, and they're presenting free meals, clothing, prayer. And this takes place on July 25th at 10 a.m. at Gateway Center, and it's at 275 Pryor Street in Southwest Atlanta. Make a note of that, guys. Pushing Love. Push Ministries. The acronym is PUSH, Push Ministry. And that's July 25th from 10 a.m. onwards. We also have the Relationship Blueprint. And the host, motivational speaker, Miss Kayon Clay, is the person who's conducting this event. I mean, she is an amazing young lady in our community. And this takes place on July 30th from 5 to 9 p.m. It will be held at N like Nancy, B like boy, H like hotel, events venue, and that's at 4870 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard, and that's in Norcross. So it's this July 30th from 5 to 9 p.m. Okay, we've got some more things going on here. We're getting a little bit into August. And so on August 7th, Friday, August 7th, from 6 to 8 p.m. at Brewed Up. So that's a working space here in our neck of the woods in Gwinnett County at 4805 Lawrenceville Highway, Suite 320, A like Apple in Lilburn. We have CYA Leadership Consulting, and they present a small business and community mixer. Pre-register, and it's only $15, guys. You can't beat that. $20 at the door. But you come early and meet and greet and have a happy hour treat, it says. Telephone number is 678-891-9859. onto the Marcus Garvey Day Festival, the 18th annual Marcus Garvey Day Festival, which takes place on August 15th, 12 to 8 p.m. So that's 12 noon to 8 p.m. That's going to be at Howell Park, Atlanta, 983 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard, Southwest Atlanta. This promises to be an amazing event. And on August 29th, JESA, the Jamaican Ex-Soldiers Atlanta chapter, presents annual camouflage barbecue. Come in your fatigue, your camouflage. Menu looks really good, guys. Fish and chicken and other meat, pork. Refreshments will be on sale. So the dress code, they say they're encouraging you to wear something with some fatigue, some camouflage to make it fun and exciting. And that's going to be on August 29th, 1943 South Hairston Road in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Looking forward to these events. There's a whole lot of stuff going on, guys. So the big event of the summer, August 8th. And it's the Jamaican Independence Ball, the annual Independence Ball and Scholarship Awards, Saturday, August 8th, starting at 6 p.m. Our keynote speaker, a 4-time Olympian, Sonia Richards-Ross, our own Sonia Richards-Ross. You're in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, you better hurry and get them because the tickets are going quickly. So it's going to be held at right down the road, as they say in Georgia, down the road, at the Atlanta Evergreen Lakeside Resort in Stone Mountain Park. It's going to be amazing. Okay, so thank you, and that's it for events. Sharon, there's something else. There's something else that's missing. That's right, we announced it.
They did put it up a couple of times.
Yes.
This Saturday, there's going to be at a health fair, back to school. So they're asking individuals to bring book bags to support the back to school initiatives. And you see that there's a lot of giveaways. And I'll be teaching 2-step CPR and also doing some health assessments and just having fun out there, also supporting. So it's not just walking around to different vendors, but it also is listening to the message and supporting the schools. Thank you so much for that.
Back to school, though, Sharon, because, I hadn't realized.
It's next month.
Next week. Pretty much, or the week after.
Within 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks.
Yeah. I'm like,
it seems so,
returning to school. I'm like, you just got on a break from school. I don't know. I'm glad I'm not in school anymore because I wouldn't be liking that too much. But, so you just addressed a matter, and I hear what you're saying about people. I like that personal touch. But not to knock AI, because there's a place for technology, and we're growing, and we're going there. We're growing. So it's not that we're wanting technology to replace people. It's a matter of learning technology, and I will admit, I'm that one. I'm that girl. I don't want to say I'm technologically challenged, but I'm learning the space. And so I am not afraid to ask for help when I need it. I'm going to reach out to anyone that I can get help from. Address that little topic of technology is AI and, the personal part of that.
Well, let me first say that's not my specialty.
Right.
But what I do for myself in practice, and I also teach adjunct, and I tell this to my students, AI is a tool. And it's a tool that can enhance the quality of your work if you know how to use it correctly. But it shouldn't replace your thought process, and it shouldn't replace your original work.
Creativity,
I love it.
Absolutely.
Because that's, my oldest son, he's a creative. And one of the things we were looking at a poster that was AI generated. And he said to me, he was like, Mom, the soul of the poster is gone. And as you look at it, you realize that there was no soul in the poster because it's not real. Created by a human being. When you look at art, when you look at writing created by people, there is a certain level of depth that speaks to that person's lived experience. And it comes out in many different ways because you write the way you speak, you express yourself uniquely, and so that cannot be captured by AI, but it's a useful tool. I mean, I use it. It's a very useful tool, but you have to learn how to use it correctly. You have to apply it in a way that enhances the quality of your work, but you still want to stay true to your creative form.
I like that a lot, and I like the fact that you were blatantly honest in saying that's not your area of expertise, which I understand that and I acknowledge that. However, what we're doing is even in texting, and that's why I asked the question, because I've noticed, Sharon, where people are texting, and if what has happened is that by texting short forms, so we're shortening words, right? We're abbreviating, and when you take people to task and say to them, especially a young person, say, "Hey, do you know how to spell this?" That element is taken away. So what they have gotten to is where they're shortening everything. So there's an acronym. There's a and people really can't spell anymore.
And you lose
say
it.
that, and you're losing that touch. And so we have to get
even
back
how
to
to write
basics.
a sentence. I get teased because I've used a period and a capital.
Oh yeah.
I was like, why are you doing this? And it's like, I can't get it.
They'll tell you in a heartbeat. It's old-fashioned. I'm okay with being
I will
old-fashioned.
never use a small, a common I.
Yes,
I will never use a lowercase I
I
to
can't.
say I. I just can't.
I can't. I'll go back and correct it. If I do it, I go back and correct it.
Does it, I
go back and correct it. I'm like, I can't stand that. You're right, I do that. So,
Yeah, that's true.
Really
we had a guest last week, Mr. Reynolds.
Yes. Oh, yes.
What was his last name?
Oh, yeah. Rodney Reynolds.
Rodney Reynolds, yes. And he's was a creative. And it reminded me when your son said, you don't feel the soul of the individual.
Yes.
And him showing his art. You saw the soul of the individual. Yeah.
You do.
So thank you for that.
Wow. So, how do you avoid burnout? Because I know you do a lot. As a mother, as a person in that space, I mean, how do you avoid burnout, Doc?
That question assumes I've never burnt out.
I know we all have, right?
Around 2021, I burnt out. Like I couldn't. I was struggling. I couldn't. And so I resigned my job with no other job in sight because I was burnt out. I even took a job that only required a bachelor's degree because I said, as long as I have some income, I'm fine. I couldn't do anything that required excessive brain power. And so from that experience, I had to learn how to care for myself. Because in that experience, one of the things that came out is that caring for yourself and loving yourself are the keys to avoiding that burnout. Because that's how I got comfortable with the word no. No became a whole sentence for me. No, there was no explanation. It was just no. Because I had to learn my limits. I had to learn I couldn't say yes to everything. I learned that I had to be okay with someone being upset that I couldn't attend something, I couldn't commit to something. And I had to learn priority. Because I realized that at the end of the day, there are 4 people who will feel it the most if I overdo myself. And those 4 people felt it the most when I was struggling to get out of bed, when I couldn't do breakfast, I couldn't make lunch. I was just laying in the bed because I was just exhausted. When I couldn't have a conversation because mentally I was drained. So I had to learn to fill my cup with meditation. That's how I got into exercise as well. Making sure I do that so it gives me energy. It allows me to move so I can sleep. I can do the things I need to do. I had to change my diet. I had to change what I was consuming. I had an app on my phone that tracked the number of hours I spent on different apps. And I found that I spent almost 35 hours a week on Instagram and Facebook. And so, yes. the number was shocking. That's a full-time job.
Can you share that app? I mean, because
I didn't even know an app like that existed, but it'd be very helpful
Yes,
to a
I
lot.
don't remember the name of the app. It's through
get
Samsung, but I'll send it to you
Thanks.
once I find it. But every week it gives me a report, and it tells me what I'm doing on my phone. And so that allowed me to recalibrate, because then I got my social media usage time down to below 10 hours, and now I'm below 5 hours, and still trying to go lower, and that's per week, because I can't spend that much time ingesting so many different things.
Yeah.
So
it can be very overwhelming.
it can be overwhelming.
Very overwhelming.
And so it was just, in a nutshell, learning to care for myself, inputting healthy habits, taking time to rest, taking breaks, not being afraid to say, hey, I'm using my PTO, or not being able to. Now I send all my clients an email and I say, hey, in 1 month, I will be down for two days. And so I take that time just to rest and recharge. And I'm unapologetic about it.
Yeah. I agree.
You ought to be.
Yeah,
You ought
I
to be,
agree.
because
I
time,
have to do that
like you
weekly.
said, yeah, like she said it. If you don't take time for yourself, then what? But I have to learn that art, and I'm not there, not even close, because like my husband would say, the phone rings, and I feel I have to get the phone, and he looks at me, he goes, "Why? You're having dinner.
Yep.
Let that phone ring.
Yep.
Let it go to voicemail. It's okay." So what I do at nights, believe it or not, every night, even when I'm on vacation, I take my phone and I turn it off.
Yeah.
I mean, I turn it all the way off, and someone says, well, I have children, so I have to. And I'm like, I don't have any children, so I don't have to, if that's what you want to say.
Yeah.
I tune out the world from that time to, and I do. I just turn it right off, and I turn that volume down, just in case.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear anything. So I tune out that way.
Yeah.
When I'm on, and I'm like this. But when I'm off, I'm off. People says, I called you. I say, yeah, you called me at 7 a.m. No, I didn't answer my phone.
Yeah.
I didn't answer my phone until 9 a.m. I called you back at 9. That's when I was available to you.
Yeah.
So we've got to tell people that. So
Yeah.
I thank you for that. I thank you for giving me permission. And know, by the way, in my past life, there was a gentleman I worked with, and that was his big thing. He says, I don't know how to say no, a little African dude. And he says, but you know what no means, really? Because of the business that he is in. He says, no is not really a bad word. It means next opportunity. And I'm like, wow, next opportunity. Next. Just move on to the next.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if not you, because guess what? If you're not available to people,
it's self-discipline,
be available
setting
to yourself.
boundaries
You have to.
for yourself,
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's important.
and it's important
It's
to give
important.
yourself permission to say no without excuses.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know yourself and your body. And talking about that, what's one mistake leaders would you say, finishing up this chapter, make to when they're trying to improve their organization?
Realizing that change cannot happen overnight. It has to be incremental. Naturally, we don't like change. We resist change. We just don't want to do it. And so if you come in and you say, okay, we're going to do this. This is new, that's new, that's new. Everybody starts to scramble and it becomes disjointed. And as it becomes disjointed, people start to resign because it no longer represents what they've come to know. But when change happens incrementally in such a way that you have conversation, you say, hey, these things are happening. This is where the vision is. You invite their feedback, their input on what you're planning to do. And then as you execute, the change is so small that they don't even feel it until 6 months to a year down the road. You kind of show, look how far we've come, look at what we've done. And it could just be something small, one small change in a meeting, one small change to a process. And that allows people to adapt to it in a way that's manageable for them. And that allows the organization to grow. We sometimes feel like, we have to fix everything. Everything has to change right now. And so that's the mistake that I've seen the most often, is that leaders are like, oh, this isn't working. That's not working. So we're just going to change everything. No, start small. Something as simple as inputting one small practice into a meeting and just the way you close out a meeting. And everyone can adopt to that one thing. And then as time goes by, it becomes an organizational practice. And then you add on something else, and before you know it, you've made the change you needed to.
Yeah.
So what's next for University Compliance Solution? But before you answer that question, give the listeners, the viewers, a synopsis of this compliance solution, the University Compliance Solution. Tell them what it's about.
So the University Compliance Solution is founded to help higher ed institutions, that's colleges and universities, accomplish their accreditation and regulatory compliance needs. We support with writing a self-study, doing a comprehensive gap analysis so institutions know where their areas of weakness are before they go into a compliance review. We support in helping to create the documentation that can meet that compliance requirement. We write process guides so individuals know what to do, when to do it, how to do it. That way, if the person who is doing it, God forbid, gets hit by a bus, is in hospital, can't come in, someone can pick up the document and say, oh, they were right here, and they can move them forward. So we do things like that, help with documentation, provide workshops, training, any way to support institutions. Also working as a fractional compliance officer when there is a capacity issue. These are just some of the ways that we support higher ed institutions.
Wow. And so what would you say, what's next?
Wow. Well, what's next is growing, looking to add another person to the team, diligently searching for a right fit for, to create a wholesome organizational culture, and, a couple conference presentations and appearances. So those are the things coming up. Yes.
Right. And she's been here before, but she's told the folks about this. But for those who didn't hear it, they missed it when you were here the very first time, about how you got started with this. Because honestly, it was through experience, you said.
Yes.
Your own personal experience, and with your father's input, and you wanting, just give us a synopsis, just because it's just for time's sake.
So I've been in compliance ever since I started working. I always seem to get drawn to that. I'd asked to write the charter renewal for a high school, and or asked to write a section for a self-study, and then I got asked to lead it. And so I bring with me a lot of experience in that regard, making sure that we're able to show that what we say we do is actually what we do, and to establish a pattern, but more so to tell the story and to express the lived experience of all stakeholders in the institution through documentation. So I bring with me that experience, and just to help institutions to tell their own story, to showcase what they've done, to represent themselves, their board, their students in a comprehensive way to accreditors and federal bodies.
Yeah, she speaks so eloquently.
Totally.
I can see you've got the system down.
Of course, she does.
So,
she does.
So tell us how we can get in touch with you, because I know you said you're trying to grow your team. Someone out there in Speak Harmony family may be just someone for you. So let us hear about that as we wrap up.
Well, the University Compliance Solution is on Facebook and Instagram, as well as LinkedIn. So once you search for University Compliance Solution, or you search my name, Tiphanie Ivey, on LinkedIn, you will be able to find me. That's the easiest way to get in touch with me. But also go into our website, universitycompliancesolution.com, and we have the Contact Us form there. Feel free to fill it out, and you can stay connected with us that way.
Well, thank you so
absolutely.
much.
Well, one final word. Can you just say something? Speak to the Speak Harmony family and tell them how do you speak harmony?
By first giving myself grace, by being kind to myself, and by doing that for myself, I'm able to do that for others, recognizing that we all have different experiences, we all come from different spaces, but we're more alike than we are different. And so in doing that, embracing those differences and realizing that those differences don't divide us, they actually unite us and create a beautiful tapestry of what our community can be, or what our existence is. And so that's how I speak harmony.
All right.
Ashe. Wow. Amen to that.
All right.
Mic drop.
Well, we thank you so much for your visit and for your gems and dropping the mic a couple of times there.
Yes. Dropping the mic.
Dropping the mic. I mean, I tell you.
Love it. Love it.
Thank you.
And she stayed so poised.
Yes.
You know,
I love
the
it.
Carteret College grad. I mean, you know, yes, very proper.
Yes.
Well, Speak Harmony
Wow,
family,
that time.
it's that time to go. And we just had a great time in our show. And we hope all of you did too. We invite you to comment, to get in contact with our guests. Let us know your suggestions if you have a guest in mind. And once again, thank you to Tiphanie with 2 Fs.
No. Tiphanie.
Oh, it is.
Yes. You
Oh,
can.
I thought I saw 2 Fs.
When I saw that, I was like, she had to be. Her parents had to be different.
Of course.
Tiphanie.
There you go.
Just
PH.
But you know, but they're right though, because that PH is pronounced F.
Yes.
So
Yes,
I mean,
of course,
fair enough.
Of course.
So
So excuse me for that. For some reason, I saw 2 Fs.
No, we just like, okay. I'm telling you.
All right.
It's the youngins. We appreciate it, but
And thanks to our sponsor again, APAP Media Group. Big up Mr. P and Damien.
Yes.
We will see you next Tuesday right here on YouTube, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, keep speaking harmony into your life. And Sharon, what do we have to do?
We always ask you to like, subscribe, and share. Just keep sharing, because this is knowledge and it's free, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. See you next week.
They talk about health, they talk about care, sharing tips, they got us without a care. Thank you for listening, you're the best. See you next week to keep the best. Together we learn, together we grow. There'll be lesson every hour, we know. See you next week with new stories to tell. More wisdom, more smiles.